Welcome back to another episode of Shit That's Just Life podcast with your favorite life coach, me, Cecile. This book isn't about places. This book is about perspective. With that being said, I have a lovely author ready to go deep and dive about her book. Welcome, Mrs. Birgit Itse, with Hidden Gems, Places Around and Within. So, question on my end here. Your book about hidden gems, I have a specific question. What does hidden gems mean to you personally? Not just a traveler, but as a human being.
So there are places within that we haven't been yet.
Yeah.
And that has become very clear to me within the past, I would say 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was already before I moved to Scotland that I noticed that some places speak to us louder than others.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some places call us back. Some places we absolutely feel nothing and we don't understand what the thing is about, why others are roaming about it. But then, at places where we feel at home and places we don't feel at home, we feel uncomfortable. So these places are reflecting something that's already in here.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we want to, whether we think we're ready to meet those, to visit those places, or to revisit, because sometimes we've been there before and we resist to the idea of revisiting.
Yeah.
We just kind of like, no, I don't want to go there. Nope, I've been there. I don't want to go there anymore. It was scary. Nope, thanks. So this is. It's about places in the northeast of Scotland as much as it is about places within.
Okay.
And the hidden gems are about places that we think are just any other places. But because what they bring out, or what happens when we really dare to explore them, this is how they become hidden gems, or things we notice.
Okay.
Sometimes it's about noticing who we are, who we become when we visit or revisit those places, whether it's around us or more importantly within us.
Yeah, it's kind of like a full circle moment, and like that, like a full circle moment,
Yeah, like when we revisit feelings, or when we revisit some events that shaped us.
Yeah.
Are we able to look at them differently? Mm-hmm. Are we able to really allow us to sit in those feelings, to observe ourselves in certain situations?
Well, let me piggyback off that. With you saying that, what surprised you the most about yourself while researching or writing this book?
I already knew that my feelings are big. And interestingly enough, I wrote today's Instagram post about it. And those big feelings wasn't necessarily something I was proud of.
Yeah.
Because all my life I've heard, even now, sometimes I hear how like I'm too much. So you like it's natural wanting to belong. So it's also natural to kind of like trying to fit yourself into the expectations of others or how they are feeling, and just kind of like dim those things. So this is how I had lived the majority of my life, with my dimmed feelings, which I know were big, and scared myself. Mm-hmm. But sitting in those uncomfortable, negative feelings, and just allowing myself, and accepting all my emotions, I discovered that my joy all of a sudden has become so much bigger. Being not judgmental, not just towards others, but also myself. So all those positive emotions and feelings grew as well.
With that internal journey, did you always see yourself as someone who looks above the obvious? Or did just as you were traveling, did it teach you that?
The thing is that a lot of things that are obvious to me, that is another probably realization that has come to me, just writing those poems, is that what is obvious to me is not obvious to others. So we should never think that, oh, this is obvious, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
No. And I was speechless in the most positive way when poets were native English speakers. Like the reason why I put, I kind of like postponed the idea of having my poetry in English published was because that fear that I'm not a native speaker. My poems are not poetry enough.
Yeah.
Because the way I write, it's very much of it comes to me, so it's very much like spoken word style. So it's not like a traditional poetry. And I feel like perhaps sometimes my vocabulary is not eloquent enough to say what I could say in Estonian, which is my native tongue. So I just consider that these are too simple. Like these are too simple to be considered real poems. Because when I read poetry in English, I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. And then, but participating in and being one of the co-founders of a poetry spoken word event, and the feedback that I kept hearing there was like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, because I'm curious what would take you out of a category from saying, hey, this is a poem. And the thing is, I think it sounds like the comparisons, like you're comparing, so you're taking the thief of joy, when you start to compare your poem to the next poem because you read it. It's like, no, a poem is something within. So when you decide to release and put it in a paper, put it on paper, form it as a nice poem, that's just you releasing what is what's in.
Yeah, but that's the thing, that for me, poetry is just a form of saying things.
There's one way of thinking of it like that. I guess you can also think of it as like, it's a part of letting the next person, that the reader that, consumes it, letting them know there's a connection here. So...
Yeah, but that can be created in a different way. That's why I distinguish the meanings between the word authenticity and intentional.
Yeah.
So I like that my writing is intentional.
Okay.
I've got a lot of authentic stuff in my computer. That's what I'm saying. This will never get published probably unless it's get edited because they are written at the stage where I wasn't really me. It was my pain speaking through me. And the way it's written is, it will hurt more than it will heal.
Okay.
So it will hurt more people than it will heal some people.
Is that how
there needs to be balance. And the thing with authentic, if we think about authenticity, what is the age group that comes to your mind?
25 and up, Probably the older. If we're being 100% true, honest, it would probably be the older crowd. So
40, really, I would say children.
I think I'm starting to see, as people get older, they're truly diving into their authentic self. So I think it's an older thing. I think as younger children, we see things and then we're like copy and paste. But as we get older, we start to see, you know what? I can do this my own way. You know what? This is what I feel. So I think it's an older thing. That's just my personal opinion.
The psychologist says that children up to the age of 4 are authentic.
Yeah.
And then they start
seeing
kind of
things.
copying.
Yes.
So when
copy and paste.
a toddler throw themselves, like a 2 or 3-year-old, throw themselves between the shelves, then they're being very authentic because they do not know how to cope with that.
Yeah. Because we can be our authentic self. Now, the thing is, being your authentic self at a certain age doesn't look, and it doesn't come off as you want it to be. So that's why you have to swing from being your authentic self to intentional. So you can say, no, this is what I meant for you. But authentically, that's what I felt. I started crying out of nowhere because that's what I felt. But what I meant to do is communicate how I felt, what I need, X, Y, and Z. So I can see that argument. Is there a place that almost didn't make the book but ended up changing everything?
I did write some poems just for that book.
Okay.
For example, the poem "Hidden Gems" is written
just for that one.
Just for that book. So it wasn't the majority. So there are 44 poems because I published at the age of 44. And again, intentional.
Okay.
So there were 42 of those poems were already existing in my computer. One of them came during putting the poetry together. So I decided I'll include that because I visited a place. So I know that I really want this to be in there. And then I noticed that, I've got only 43 poems. And I was like, why don't I write a poem about the book and the places in general? So I did.
Do you do your best work in quiet or chaos when it comes to writing?
Quiet. I can't write in cafes. I can observe and I can take notes, but I can't write in crowded, noisy places. I need peace and quiet. The door between the hallway and is closed. What I do have is instrumental music that kind of like if there is noise outside or I've got there's a dog sometimes barking upstairs, so it will just kind of like that music quiets the noise that might come from outside and creates that kind of like background for me to work. So if that's not possible, for example, I'm on a train and I want to work, I put headphones on so I could switch myself off. I know I can't focus on places where there's constant stimulation going on. I can observe, I can take notes.
When traveling, did you ever feel like you were intruding on these places, or did you just feel welcomed as you were going?
I did feel like some of the places felt unreal.
Okay.
And I was in tears that I've had the opportunity to see those places with my own eyes. Definitely there are places that made me very, very emotional. Okay. And like deeply grateful, to have this experience, to have this ability to walk to those places, because some of them were really, really remote or difficult to access.
Did you ever question whether some places should remain hidden, like as you were going out?
Some of these places are considered hidden gems, but none of them is, only my place or, no one ever has been there or just I think it's not so much about the place. For example, there is a wee coastal village called Colliston, which I really like.
Yeah.
And I enjoy being there and I enjoy going for dukes there and I like the community.
Yeah.
So the Colliston itself is not hidden gem because it's a well-known place. But what you notice in that place, who you become in that place, or what becomes important to you, that is what makes this place a hidden gem or just a place like any other. So I believe that everyone has their own list of hidden gems.
Yeah, but it sounds like you found like specific areas in these places that either one has never just thought to explore, or you know what I'm saying, or it's just not, let's just say, known to others, you know, like famously known. So it sounds like,
oh, they are. Some of the places are famously known. It's just they're not considered, or people walk past a lot of well-known places without, paying attention much what is happening.
And it is funny that you mentioned that, because you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this book helps slow you down in a world that's obsessed with speed. So
yeah.
I feel like when reading a book, it helps you just kind of take a breather, observe everything around you, take it all in.
Yeah, that's what the feedback has been too, that I really want to think what I just read.
Mm-hmm.
And people who have started creative writing, and they've said, although simple, it really hits you hard, like it touches places inside.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, yes, this is why I wrote it.
Yeah.
This works.
Yeah.
This works.
Yeah, this works. It's got to be liberating to hear people diving into another part of their mentals, first off, as they're reading this book,
Yeah.
So that's got to be a blessing in disguise.
It's like me trying to explain things to the inner 6-year-olds, what is happening. And by doing so, I hope that others who read that will find something, about themselves. Because although these things in that book have happened to me, or it's coming to the readers through me, this book is not about me.
Right.
It is about the reader. It is about what reader makes and thinks, and how they interpret the words and the way things are said.
Is that my work that you're reading?
Yes, yes. And the thing is that when sometimes I'm going through my computer folder and I'm discovering poems that I can't remember that I've written, then I have the same emotion. Hey, did I write that?
I was like, yeah, do you ever run into something where you're like, is this my work? Was these my words?
Yeah.
It's surprising.
Even with that, because that was published 2 months ago, what I encourage people to do when I'm coaching them or when I'm doing workshops is that the first draft that you're writing, just write everything out. Don't hold anything back. It's like, say yes to every word that wants to come out of you.
Yeah.
And that is the writing process. This is where one part of your brain, that creative brain, is working.
Okay.
And people are afraid to do that because they want this first version to be the published version. But the first version is never going to be the one that ends up in the book. You're going to read it so many times that you're sick to death of your own writing before it gets to the pages, like to the publishing process, like to be an actual book.
Okay. It's fun though. See, I've gotten into it. I actually enjoy getting lost in the story. That's what made me started wanting to interview authors, because I'm like, now I want to speak to the people who decided to write this book, because the story is always impeccable. It's always something that I've never expected. I'm always going down a journey that I didn't even know existed. So I like reading for fun. I think it's fun, and it just helps me.
Yeah, but this is where my editor's brain gets in the way. So it's like when I'm reading a book and
you start editing as you're reading. Oh my goodness.
Yes, so this is difficult. Like I find it difficult to switch that brain off when I'm starting reading, because for my brain, reading, that's work.
But as an editor, that editor brain starts to kick in and say, no, that doesn't go there. Well, It's not even how you spell
yeah, that should work better there. I was just swap the chapters here, or I've read this already 5 times. You're repeating yourself. Do you think I'm stupid?
But that's so nice though. That because I've talked to an English teacher of mine, and that's how she speaks about books. So I can tell her a certain book, and she's like, I don't see how you like that. She just repeated herself in every chapter. So it shows how intentional and how much you pay attention to detail when you're reading.
Yeah, I do pay attention to details. Thank you for saying so. And that's another thing. I thought, just people that don't get stuck in the details. No, I'm not getting stuck in the details, because
I'm just paying attention to them.
Mona Lisa had a small black dot on her nose, that tiny detail would change the painting.
Everything. People don't understand the importance of detail, and they fail to realize that the person that is very intentional is going to pay attention to detail.
The Hidden Gems book, you look at the front cover, what you see, so there are tiny footprints on the front.
Yes.
And when you look at the back,
we see
the water covers the fruit.
Yeah.
Yes. So the water has washed away the footprints. So it is also a journey when it comes to the cover design.
Nice. What was the hardest part of bringing this book to life? Would you say logically or emotionally?
It was understanding what the book is going to be about.
Okay.
So in my 2025 year goals, I've got like an annual plan of things, my goals that I want to achieve, the books that I'm writing. If I know that there are conferences or things where I'm performing, so I put them all in. So I've got an A3 sheet of paper divided into 12 boxes. Each box is for 1 month. So this is how I plan my year ahead. And for me, that gives that kind of like that creative freedom to do stuff. And then we were talking about how, the places that are within and how it brings up something in us. And then I was like, oh my God, this is my theme. This is what's going to be about Hidden Gems.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, now I've got it.
So it's like random. It seems like
it
was random. Is that how you pick your poems? Like, how do you actually pick a poem to know this is going straight for the book? This is not going for the book? Like, how does that come about?
If it included a place, like an actual place, it was in.
Okay.
Like a place, what I had visited.
Okay.
That was in. If it didn't include, that stayed out.
So you kept it more like location. If I've been there, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to put it for the book. Okay. That's pretty simplifying it, because I know me personally, I would have been, did we talk about my feelings? Did we talk about where I went? Where do we talk about here? So I would have been all over the place.
1 and 75.
Let's try 7.
7. So the poem is called Free in the Dance.
Okay, I like that. Free in the dance.
Imagine a wind forming waves on the sea, or playing on the fields, or singing along the tops of the trees. You can also imagine a fire with its warming flames showing light in those lonely, chilly nights. That's me. That could be me in your life. I might warm your hands or test your skin. I can be your storm and your heart. To have me in your life, you need to learn how to dance with me. Lead me with the kind of strength that listens before it touches. Follow me. Play along. Learn to feel my gentle pull, not to chase passing shadows as mysterious as they are. Move with me, and I will be the whispering breeze that caresses your skin in the glens on a hot summer's day. If you want my warmth, my softness, my gentle movements, you need to learn how to dance with me. My flames are a gift, not an entitlement. Don't test my heat. Instead, uncover its source, Pay attention to me and I will light up your night and will be the reason you'll trust warmth again. You cannot control the wind, only direct it. Wind only flows where it's safe, where there are no walls to trap it. Your forced moves do no favors. Invite me with patience. You creating a safe space for me to move graciously is you leading the dance instead of controlling it. It's about playfulness, not playing power games. You cannot command the flame, only look after it. Your wants mean nothing without you clearly communicating. You can be the one who guides or enjoys being guided yourself. Dances worth remembering are born from real connection, conversations made of dialogues instead of monologues or countless clues with no time to respond to anything. Give me time to finish the twirls you initiate. Let me be seen in your soul and heard in your heart. Feel the rhythm shift with me. I won't be the one who learns your moves just to please you. They weren't really following. They just gave you the impression they did. So you would have the impression you had the lead. Wind and fire get no pleasure from pretending. They are who they are. Dancing on the field, hilltops and seas, or in your wood-burning stove, fire pit, or as a flickering candle on a table set for a romantic night in. And when treated wrong, they will become storms or wildfires or stillness that keeps you stuck, or the flames will just die out. Dancing with me doesn't mean moving constantly, but it does require consistency, appreciation and curiosity, even in the moments of stillness where it feels like there is nothing to look for. Stillness isn't absence, it's potential. It's where tension builds. It's in the pause before the spark, in the hush before the gust, where trust grows or the embers get soaked. Don't expect me to dance because you like the song or because the music is playing so loud it's impossible to ignore. Ask me. Be present when you do that. Ask me only if it's really me you want to dance with. Having me in your arms, but someone else in your mind, will be reflected in your moves. And neither of us would really enjoy the dance, would you? I can be the wind in your sails and the fire in your desire. But if you want to get close to me, close to my heart and meet my soul, you really need to learn how to dance with me.
How does the brain create an imagination like that? You know, like how do those words come to you? Is that just in the room of peace, of quiet, the words just come and flow? Is that how it works for you?
Yeah, you put it how, the way it is. They just come to me.
Okay.
They just come to me. Sometimes it's just one phrase. What I do in my free time, not to think about writing, is I'm dancing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've learned a lot about myself and how to, lead my business, and I've also learned a lot about other people, attending dance classes and social dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much like you can understand a lot about who they are as a person, the way they are dancing.
As a writer, does it help for you to socialize and get out more, and it creates new stories for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. And I think I don't think I've been ever wrong about the person.
Yeah.
After my observations, how they are dancing, how they are leading, how they are communicating.
Okay.
Like the way they are communicating on the dance floor is exactly how they're communicating verbally and, just outside the dance floor.
Yes, I can agree. I can agree. My final question for you is, if you were to write Hidden Gems again in 10 years, what do you think would be different about the places or about you?
I think there will be other places.
Okay.
And I think some of the places that are important now wouldn't be important in 10 years.
Okay.
And perhaps some other places that I even don't know that exist, I might have discovered by that time. Living is a lifelong job.
Yes.
And a lifelong joy.
Yeah.
So one of my core values is curiosity. So one of the things I encourage people to do is stay curious.
Yes.
Stay curious about your own life, what is happening within, how you behave in certain situations, not so much about what others are doing, but what it brings out in you.
As well, I can piggyback on that it's just focusing on what really makes you happy. Because once you find out what makes you happy, then you'll know what makes you sad, what makes you uncomfortable, and just properly communicating. That way, things are not looked at as triggers. It doesn't seem like every 5 minutes you're triggered by something. When really you just need to sit back and learn yourself. And once you learn yourself, you have to be comfortable within yourself to be able to articulate yourself. For anyone watching, this isn't just a book about places. It's an invitation to see differently. If this conversation resonated with you, take a moment to sit with it. When you're ready, check out Hidden Gems, Places Around and Within by Birgit Itse. The links will be in the description below. If you want to hear more conversations like this, follow us, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what moments really resonated with you. Let us know what your favorite moments was or your favorite line.